Hey everyone, hope you guys are doing well. I have not had the opportunity to talk to you guys for a while. We are going through craziness at our house. We are remodeling and actually painting and doing the floors. Oh, am I connected? Okay, I'm connected. So we are painting, doing the floors, doing all this crazy stuff. So we had to move out of our house and get the furniture out. It's just been nuts. So we're staying in a hotel for a while. It's been a little crazy. But I wanted to just touch base with you, see how you guys are doing. And I thought I would answer some questions. You guys send me a lot of great comments and questions. And I thought this would be a good chance to reconnect with you, say hello, see what some of you are planning on doing for the holiday. Got the 4th of July coming up, so please be safe this holiday. A lot of people think that New Year's Eve is the worst day of the year for accidents. It's not. It's actually 4th of July. So please be very careful. Lots of drunk driving. I think this year might be a little quieter because so much is shut down with COVID, but still, please be careful and watch yourselves. So let's talk about a few questions. First of all, I wanted to say thank you to Scott, who keeps writing in to tell us that our backgrounds have been backwards. Thank you for sending in the instructions on how to fix the background. I appreciate it. But I do want to say this. So we talk a lot about the people you hang out with in your community and how important it is because you teach people how to treat you. And Scott, I do appreciate you actually writing in about and helping us with that. But writing in and like multiple times and berating people and calling them idiots might not be super helpful with other people. So just a little note there, like for parents, please don't do that. For employees, please don't do that. But I do appreciate the instructions. Here's one question. Someone wrote in on a post that I put out about snacks and how they affect hormones. So certain snacks actually help to boost serotonin. Some snacks help to boost dopamine. And so someone, and if you didn't catch that post, you can catch that post. But a woman wrote in and asked what she should snack on when she's menstruating. So that's an interesting question. So what happens when women have their cycle is that their serotonin drops. Okay, so their frontal lobe function drops. So when your frontal lobe function drops, that's why you start craving foods, you start craving these carbohydrate-rich foods, right? But that's not going to really help you to function a lot better. What will really help you? The other thing that happens, so your frontal lobe function drops, but your emotional center in your brain fires up. So that's why you've got this like sort of dual action going on, because when your frontal lobe function drops, it makes you impulsive. But when your emotional center is fired up, it makes you very agitated, anxious. So you're like got sleepy frontal lobes, but then you've got an overactive emotional center. So that's why the cravings can be a little weird, and women start to get cravings. You'll start craving carbohydrate-rich foods to settle down that emotional center. But eating a lot of, like if you're eating a lot of sugar, think about the things women crave when they're on their periods. They crave wine, chocolate, right? Bread, pasta. So because it helps to settle down that emotional center. The problem is it's not going to help your frontal lobe function. So eating a more balanced diet is going to probably help. So yeah, the carbs, if you eat some healthy carbs, think sweet potato, or maybe a half of an apple with almond butter. So someone asked, should I eat an apple? Or should I eat, they asked something else. Yes, but try a half of an apple with some almond butter, because that's going to stabilize you more. It's not only going to make you feel more full, it's going to help you prevent more cravings, but then it's also going to, it's going to settle you, stabilize you, but you're not going to get so much of the sugar that way, and you're going to get the fat, the healthy fat, with the almond butter that's going to settle down the cravings. But then if you also eat something with some protein, if you have a hard-boiled egg or you have something with protein, or a smoothie, if you're a vegan plant-based protein powder, something with some protein, it's going to actually activate your frontal lobes. So that impulsivity will settle down. So that's why those are the types of snacks that are going to really help you. So a handful of nuts can be helpful, those types of snacks. So that answers that question. Someone wrote in and asked how I'm always posting stuff of exercising and healthy snacks. and they said they know that I'm a busy mom. And yes, I'm a busy mom. We work, I'm always busy. Right now I'm doing the house and trying to work and doing all this stuff. Yes, I am busy. So I have a saying that I believe is really true. If the busier you are, if you're really busy and you're on the go, you don't have time not to take care of yourself. You just don't. And I'm going to be really honest. I'm going to admit something. Being busy usually isn't that hard for me to stick with my program when I'm busy. But going through this, all the craziness that we've been going through, that has made it harder. The quarantine wasn't that bad. Okay, I got into a routine with quarantine, but then all the emotional stress of what's happening, just with the societal changes and some of the fear around it, that actually, between that and the quarantine, that made it hard. So, and I've been hearing from a lot of you that it's made it hard too, right? We're not sleeping as well. We're more anxious. We don't know what's happening. And I think when our environment, when our nest feels, ruffled, if you will, sometimes it makes it harder to stick with a program. And that's certainly been true for myself. So for me, fortunately, I've just been doing it for so long that I can't not do it I can't stay out of routine for very long. One of the best things I invested in many years ago, I started about 20 years ago, I started investing in home equipment for a home gym. And then each year I would just add a piece. And then for Christmas, birthdays, that's what I would ask for. So during quarantine, that does make it easier. Having a home gym makes it easier to be able to stick with it during times like this. I mean, whoever knew we were going to go through this, right? But that does make it easier. So when this person asked, how do you do it being so busy? That's one way I do it, is because I have a home gym and because I have some knowledge of how to work out at home. But in this day and age, you don't have to have the history. You don't have to have the knowledge so much, because there's so much knowledge at your fingertips. Just go to YouTube and make sure it's someone reputable, but you can just follow some of these people. They'll teach you yoga. They'll teach you weightlifting. There's so many truly educated people who are really good at what they do that will help you to be able to do this at home. So there's never been a time that's been better for being able to do that than now. And as far as diet, I think that's been almost harder for people going through this, because initially it's because we couldn't find the food, right? Your normal stuff. Then things settled down and we were sort of out of routine, and people were down and they were a little funky and they just didn't feel quite right. So all I can tell you is it's really about mindset. It starts with mindset. It really is going to take some discipline around mindset and taking the time to pray and meditate and put your mind back in the right place. I love to use metaphors a lot. So I use metaphors and I use mentors to sort of keep me on track. And that really helps me, because I've been really sick. I've been really depressed. And those are the things that help keep me and get me back on track. I don't ever want to go back to that place. So yeah, I get off track once in a while too. I just don't stay off track. I'm better at getting back on track, I think, after going through what I've been through. And so one of the things that I know I can do is I have a routine. If I get off track, what I do is I go get a couple of green drinks. It's like I'm gonna have a green drink and a smoothie. I have a routine that I do in the morning. So green drink, smoothie, and I'm gonna have my hot water lemon with ginger. So I don't sit there and think about what I'm gonna have in the morning. That's what I'm having, and that puts me back on track, having that routine. And in my book, both books, Omni Diet and Brain Warrior's Way, I have a ton of tips like that to get you on track. It's just follow the rules. Most of us can paint by numbers, right? We get a little off track if we have to think about it too much when we're in a funk. But if you just paint by numbers and follow someone else's instructions, it's pretty easy to get back on track. So lots of help for you on that. You can go to my website and download my one-page miracle. So go to tanaamen.com, get the one-page miracle, and it's one page you tape to your mirror, and you're gonna write down what you want for your life in all areas of your life. And that's gonna help you just sort of focus on it. Every morning when you get up to brush your teeth, you're gonna see that. That will help you get back on track. So that's some of the things I do. And one thing, someone wrote in about they asked why I use the warrior term so much. She was actually a little bit offended because she's a veteran. So I'd actually want to say this. I want to actually thank you for your service. One of the reasons I use that, I just got done saying I use metaphors a lot. So I'm not using it in any way to be disrespectful to veterans, quite the contrary. I have so much respect for people who dedicate their life to serve others, to help keep us safe. And I really respect veterans. And I picked up that term. It's a metaphor for me. I believe that people, when they are not feeling strong, can make themselves stronger by using metaphors. It doesn't mean I am an actual warrior, okay? But when I was the most depressed, the most down, when I felt like I had no reason to live, that was the only thing I could do, was latch onto a metaphor of some way of feeling stronger. Also, I was attacked when I was 15. I was attacked on the street walking to high school. Someone attacked me, tried to pull me down an alley. And ever since then, I didn't like feeling weak. And I thought, what is the one thing that I can do? Like, I feel like this helpless person right now, and I hate feeling like a victim. Well, what's the opposite of victim? In my mind, the opposite of victim was a warrior. And I don't mean like a veteran warrior. I mean like someone who can like fight and defend and protect themselves. And so I latched onto that metaphor a long time ago. And then it became even more personal when I got sick. So when I became really sick and I wanted to die and didn't want to live, that the idea of fighting, but not just fighting physically from someone attacking me on the street, but fighting like the fight of my life and for my life because of my health, that actually took on a really personal meaning. And the reason that I really love the warrior metaphor is because warriors are prepared. They're strong, they're prepared, they train. They don't wait until fight day to start training. They train every day. They try to avoid fights by being aware and prepared. And that's what I started to realize, is like, this is what I have to do for my health. This is what I have to do, to feel strong and empowered and protect myself. It was in no way to be disrespectful to people who dedicate their lives. It was because I actually have a tremendous amount of respect for them. And it was the only thing I could think of to pull myself out of that funk. And I apologize. I sincerely apologize if it offended you, but I'm not likely to give up that metaphor, because I think it is so apropos for where we are at as a society with our health. We are a mess. We are victims. When it comes to our health, we are acting like victims, like we have no control, and that is ridiculous. We need to focus on what we can control instead of what we can't control. And if we could focus on what we can control instead of what we can't control, we would have so much better luck. My husband keeps calling me while I'm talking to you, so I'm hopefully not getting cut off. I'm trying to finish this up before I take his call. So that's why I use the warrior metaphor, and I'm not too likely to give it up. Hopefully I'm not offending any of you who are actual warriors. I have so much respect. So, but that's why I use it. I do think people should use it. And I've actually talked to a lot of women who end up writing into me. I talk about health, but as a result of me talking about that metaphor, and to take it to the next level, I started practicing martial arts. And I love it. It's so empowering. And I end up having so many women write into me and tell me how that's helped them sort of face situations that they're in, even though that's not what I was talking about. I wasn't talking about personal situations. I wasn't talking about abusive relationships or anything like that. But they began to realize that by adopting that metaphor, they could face certain difficult things. That said, I would rather you get professional help if you're going to do that. And please don't just watch anyone on social media and just go jump into something without getting the help you need. So I hope that's helpful. Please continue sending in your questions and your comments, because I love to answer them. Hopefully I'm going to be more consistent now that I moved out of my house. In a couple weeks, I will have to move back in, so I'm going to lose you for a couple days, but then I will be back on track. So please have a very safe 4th. Be blessed, enjoy your families, and just appreciate everything that we have. Thank you so much. Bye.